on, y'all? It's your boy Gibbons here.
We'll see.
And welcome to yet another episode of the Achromous podcast, man. It is episode 87. I can't believe it, 87 straight weeks with y'all. We love y'all. And thank you for continuing to support us. If you're listening, that's probably because you're on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you can hear your podcast. But if you can see us right now, that can only mean one thing. You're on YouTube. So before you do anything else, I need to do three things for me, just three simple things. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Here's what's going to happen, right? The next time you hop on YouTube and you're scrolling down your feed, looking for some of the best videos on self-help, personal development, goal setting, healthy habit building, fitness, all of those sort of things, you're going to find it right here in the Achromous podcast. More likely than not, you're going to find it on episode 87. And most of all, we'll see.
It is free to do each one of those steps that has so kindly provided to us. So thank you for providing those steps. And I'm going to graciously remind everyone again, like our content if you're following it and you appreciate what we're giving. If you have been a follower and you haven't done that, shame on you. So today, take a step in self-development and like it. Subscribe to what we have. Remember, subscription is free. It's not like what it used to mean in the 90s for those catalogs. This actually means this is something that's free to you, that is going to ensure that you can get anything that we're providing to you firsthand. And if you turn on that notification, that guarantees that you'll get it each and every single week, each and every single time. Matter of fact, if it's anything that we put that's Achromous related, you get it first. So please be sure to do those things, guys. We greatly appreciate it. We're asking you, we're not telling you, because it's a choice. And we hope that you choose to continue to support us.
100% Will C, and what a week it has been, ladies and gentlemen. As y'all know, look, I'm a big football fan. I'm also a big Commanders fan. And I just got one thing to say, man. Cowboys lost last week. That's the end of that update. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Out of all the teams in the NFC East.
I got it. No matter what's real, we might lose some, but this is a part of self-development. So you can work on that part too if you are a Cowboy fan. This might be a chance to go ahead and get that out your system.
Get it out your system. Look, I know y'all gonna have a rough year. It's okay. We've been there, but we ain't there no more. Every single team in the NFC East, but y'all won a game this weekend. Now, look, it's Sunday, so that means that y'all have another chance to lose, and I'm gonna love watching it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness! Look, it's been a week. Like I said, man, last week, episode 86 of the Achromous podcast. Another great episode, man. And the beauty of what we do, we'll see, is that we get to connect with so many different people. We get to hear different stories. We get to hear, from all of our followers and all of our listeners. And we appreciate everyone who has been able to be tapping in over these past few weeks and being able to tap in once again last week for our episode. We thank you for joining us. And once again, we thank you for joining us here. I do want to give a quick store update. Of course, the Achromous fitness store is open. It is live. For anybody who has been asking that question, I know there's been a few of you guys. It is back open. So at this time, if you're watching this on one screen, open another screen, go to achromousfitness.com, check out some of the new blogs we have on there, check out some of the new gear that's coming. Look, it's getting a little bit cold outside. I know you feel it, especially if you're on the East Coast or maybe even the South. It's getting a little bit chilly. So why not go out there with a fresh Achromous hoodie, a beautiful Achromous beanie, a wonderful Achromous flask? I mean, all of these things are set up perfectly for you to be able to represent yourself as somebody who matters, somebody who is so damn worth it. Why not invest in yourself? We'll see. Don't you think these people should invest in themselves, man?
I don't see a reason why they shouldn't. If we invest in things that we truly don't support and really believe in, you can get behind something that's for the betterment of you. And this is one way that you can do it and show it in a manner that's symbolic and show that, as Jay said, put it plain and clear that you matter, in wording and also symbolically. So please do that, guys. Check out, see what we have. We're not just saying it because we want you to just buy it. If you support and believe what our messages are and what we're putting out there, this is one way you could truly do it. And in doing so, it allows us to continue to manifest and build upon spreading what we're trying to give to the world. And you being a part of it will help tremendously. And also, it looks damn good. Like our gear does look really good. So check it out. I mean, clearly you can see if you're watching this, you see this is a visor that I have merch. You see the hoodie over there Jay has, clearly we have that as well. We also have the Achromous podcast wear and gear as well too. So some nice shirts and things over there that you can check out. So we have all types of things that's available for everyone, for children as well. So, it's all types of gear and it's all types of things. That's the representation of what we stand for. So we will greatly appreciate it. And if you happen to do support us and you happen to purchase something, let us know directly. We really would love to be able to shout you out.
Yep.
Share that with the Achromous community, the support and love that we get, and to give the recognition of how much you matter, not just saying it, but we can actually take affirmative action and show it that you do. You matter to, and that's what we're about.
That's big. I mean, just think about just ask yourself this actually. Is there another fitness apparel company out there who represents their followers, their fans, their community more than the Achromous Fitness does? I can't think of another. I mean, imagine you getting some gear from a store, from a community, being able to wear that out wherever you're going, take a picture, upload it, tag us in it, and then we shout you out because you did that. That does not happen anywhere but here. So again, as Will C mentioned, head over to the website. Look, if you don't want to make a purchase today, that's absolutely fine. Just peruse through the store. I'm guaranteeing you're going to find something there that you love, something there that your kids may love, your spouse may love, something you want to rock when you're going to the gym for your next session. So make sure you head over there, check it out, let us know what you think. And of course, as Will C said, as soon as you do represent yourself, we also want to take the time to share you. So be sure to tap in, to get on there, get something for yourself or your family. It's going to be an amazing ride. And we want to thank you for joining the Achromous community through that. And I know I mentioned Fitness Will C, and that is something that we, even during the summer, we had a nice little series going where it was about your summer body, and it was about certain tips that we wanted to give out to you guys out there who were looking to get in better shape at that particular time. And I'm sure many of us are still trying to get there, especially because winter's coming, right? We're probably going to be inside a little bit more. We're not going to be outside as much as we used to be. But it is still important to make sure that you are eating healthy, you're eating a balanced diet. Make sure you're doing stuff that you can sustain, whether it is on the nutrition side or the exercise side. And all that is still true. So today, what we wanted to make sure that we bring to you is that there is a large connection between that sustainability that you have, whether it's on the nutrition side or more specifically the exercising side, and the way that you carry yourself through life. I think that connection is so missed. And we wanted to be able to touch on that today to give you guys an idea as to what that might look like for you by showing you examples of what that looks like for us. So we'll see. I mean, for me, gosh, I always tell this story. I go back to when I was about 12 and I was exercising in it was a fitness center. If you've ever lived in an apartment complex, typically your property manager, they may invest in a fitness center at the rental office, and that is what they did here. So during the summer, I was just in there. I was doing lateral pull downs. Typically, they're all cable machines because they don't really want you to have free weights. We'll see. I know you're very familiar with that too. You have one near you where you are now. And, they're all cable machines. You still get a great workout, especially if you're just getting introduced to fitness. You don't typically tend to get as strong as you may be capable of getting, but you could get a great workout. And that is what we always end up doing, especially when I was there working out with friends or sometimes by myself. It grew into an addiction. And at the time, as a kid, I'm 12, I don't really know about the benefits of what I'm doing. All I know is that, I feel good, sure. And okay, my biceps are looking a little bit bigger. I'm able to run on the treadmill a little bit longer. I'm losing some of the stubborn fat that I had because I'm just so active and I'm always in a caloric deficit. So I'm able to look a little bit better. I'm able to feel better about myself, both inside and out. And I felt great doing it. And, at that time, again, I didn't know how much of an influence it would have in my life until I got to the point where it became so habitual that it almost felt crazy for me to miss a day, which is where we are now in current time. I mean, I've made regimens for hundreds of people. I've been able to make my own regimens from scratch each and every time I work out. All the regimens that I've been able to use throughout my entire life have been made from what I have been able to experience, how I feel the muscle groups work with each other, how I feel after specific workouts. Am I able to get the best session in if I'm doing this muscle group today versus another tomorrow? Are there certain weak points that I need to work on before I can increase weight? So all of those things came with the experience. All of those things came with time. All those things came with putting in work day in, day out, not expecting anything in return. But my return has been immense because I've been able to reach those goals that I set for myself years ago. And I'm still climbing, even though I am aging. And of course, the body tears down a bit. You get a little bit slower. You feel the joints hurt a little bit more than they used to. You got to spend time stretching before and after working out now, but before you can just go in and lift the house, it gets a little bit different. So what I've been able to do now is adjust my workouts based on my goals, based on how I'm feeling, based on understanding that I have to make sure I remain consistent. So perfect example now, of course, I'm also still involved with flag football, and understanding that I will be playing that again, I had to make sure that my body was ready. I had to make sure that I was feeding myself the right way. I had to make sure that everything was in tune with what I was going to do. And the way I went about doing it is I had to check my ego at the door. Look, I am always in love with powerlifting. Always have been. I love lifting heavy weights. It is just something that just gets me going. It's the feeling of conquering something that you probably thought you couldn't be able to conquer, and quite frankly, a few years ago I wasn't able to. And there's just no better feeling than that. But I had to make the switch for myself, knowing that if I was going to continue to lift heavy, chances are I was going to get injured. It's inevitable when it comes to whether it's football, running, lifting. At some point there, you might trip and fall a little bit. You might take a wrong step and mess up your foot or your ankle. You might squat wrong one day and your knee pops out of place, or you tear your hamstring or your quadricep off the bone. You might play football and tear an ACL. So all of those things you have to keep in mind when you are active. But it's important to understand that there is a connection with both what you're doing in the gym and what you are doing in life. And the reason why I think I've become so in tune with working out and really enjoying it and loving every aspect of it, even starting from the warm-up cardio that I do to the end cardio session when the workout is done, it really does match life in general, right? I mean, it's sometimes we don't want to head to work early in the morning. I got to wake up 6 a.m. every day, get in the car, fight traffic, work really, really hard between that 9 to 5 and then fight traffic back home. And then once I get back home, it's that end session, right? It's that moment you get done with working out. It's that moment you feel of satisfaction because you were able to get through some of the toughest times of your life, the toughest day of your life you were able to get through. And then knowing that you're going to have to do it again tomorrow, it matches fitness for me, because there are many days where I don't want to go to the gym. I'm not gonna lie to you. There are many days I don't. I'm get home, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I have no energy. I probably didn't eat much throughout the day because you just get so busy that you lose track of time. And once I make it back home, like, I don't want to I don't want to drive to the gym. I got to warm up. I got to lift. I say, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because that's the standard, right? When you set a standard for yourself, there is nothing below it. That is the standard that you set. So regardless how you feel, it doesn't matter. None of that matters. You go because that's what you have to do. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're scheduled to do. You follow the schedule accordingly. Doesn't matter what the time is. You go and get it done. So that's the mentality that I have in the gym and also at work. I make sure when I'm at work, I separate myself from everything else I've done. I separate my own personal life from my work life. Everything I'm doing here is for business. It's to benefit business. It's to benefit this project. It's to make sure we finish on time. It's to make sure I'm building relationships to help everybody out. It's a win-win-win situation. That's the same mentality that I have when I'm doing my workout. So exercise as a way of life is there's this partnership that you have with yourself when it comes to lifting, when it comes to working out, and when it comes to doing whatever you're doing during the day. Even if you're an entrepreneur, I know maybe every entrepreneur that I've spoken to in my life has had success in the gym as well. And many people see that as their sanctum. Many people see that as their sort of fortress of solitude. They go there, they get their workout in, and it mirrors how they attack life in general. So for me, Will C, I got to say that exercise and fitness in general has become more than just a hobby or more than just a habit that I built over time. It's a lifestyle, and it is me. It's part of who I am. So even if I wasn't working where I was, I would still have the gym. Even if I didn't have the gym, I would still be doing the exact same things that I am doing at work, but doing it in the gym, if that makes sense. It's all one and the same, right? They're all intertwined with each other. So I think for those who may be having a tough time getting into the gym or starting a regimen that they can sustain or understanding more about fitness, you got to start with step one, right? I didn't come out as a project manager. I had to learn, I had to earn that degree. I had to learn all the way through. Even on the job, I had to learn. I had to not be afraid to ask questions, not be afraid to step out there and get things wrong occasionally. It's the same way I approach the gym. I had to start from zero. I had to start with the barbell before I could bench 4 plates on each side for 45s. I had to do the same thing with squats. I had to learn the form, right? And again, when I mentioned checking your ego at the door, that's something that you have to do when it comes to working out. I've seen so many people either have improper form or get injured because they decided they want to rack up the barbell just to look cool, or to have people, look at them and respect them for what they're lifting. But I respect the person more who is lifting 135 with great form than somebody who is lifting 405 with the crappiest form you could possibly see in a gym, because I know they're getting started, and they're getting started with that foundation, and they're setting themselves up for success, because once they hit that 405, that form is still going to look the same. Once they get to 500 pounds and they're squatting, that form is still going to look the same. So it's that same approach that I take in the gym that I do with life. I understand, especially when it comes to Achromous Fitness or the Achromous podcast, we started at a point, right? We started with episode 1. We had no lighting. I don't even think I had a mic. We were sitting in the dark. We had no idea what the episodes were going to be. We had no idea who our guests were going to eventually be. But with each passing step, we learned, we improved, we got better. It became a habit that we built to have great episodes. And now it's a lifestyle. Now we can go through these episodes and not even have anything. One of our last episodes, here's a confession, we didn't even have a topic. We just went. And we did that because we have been doing this now for 87 weeks straight. And even in between the episodes that we end up filming, we are still connecting. We are still doing work outside of this. We are still building the community. So we are so used to these things that it is no longer something that we consider a hobby or a habit. It is now a lifestyle. This Achromous is part of us. So we'll see. I mean, I'd love to turn it over to you. What do you see in terms of exercising being a way of life to you? How were you able to make that connection for yourself between the life outside of the gym versus your approach to the gym or exercise in general?
I think for starters, just reflecting on what you shared, I think you touched base on a lot of things that I resonate with as well. I think if I were to put it more in like a just simplistic term for me, I kind of look at it as two sides of one coin, essentially, the same, where either approach, you can make progress as long as you remain consistent. But I do like to look at the benefits that, gym life has had for me, where it's helped me to maintain and hone my discipline from a child, from early age of like just being involved into different activities, different sports, and like learning the importance of practice and repetition of taking the time to not know something, but to take your time to learn how to do it correctly. And then you excel and you get better at it with time, with practice. It's no different than with life, right? With work, you start a new job, you get there, you learn the right way of how to do something, and you excel and you get better at it, and then therefore you're able to teach someone else. Same thought process in any other aspect of thing that's important to you in life. You take the same approach, and I think for me, that's kind of what I look at it as, like the importance of why it is important to take care of yourself in that way, because you're carving out the time and you maximizing the opportunity to be a better version of yourself. You just take that approach, and I like the fact of like learning something new about myself. And you learn more about yourself when you're working out, and learn what you have and what you got made of inside you. And what you don't realize is that I'll give you an example, like for you, Jay, like what you were saying, you work and you spend all this time, and then you make the time while you're exhausted towards the end of the day to go and to hit that repetition of whatever you were accustomed to doing the day before, right? But like, it's because of the time that you put in the gym that you're able to even get through the day of what you were doing as far as your work schedule, your personal life, because you've disciplined yourself. You've sharpened your blade, if you will. And I think that's the approach to life, where when I referenced the two sides of one coin, the coin, one side of it being the passion, and the other side representing the aspect of your life. So I think, like, if you really simplify it in those terms, and you just kind of focus in on those two things, it all coincides with each other. And fitness is usually a base of a foundation for allowing a person to just be better, because there's no way that you don't do anything that's related to fitness and you don't feel better about yourself. It's empowering. It's the purest form of self-development that you can have in a lifetime to experience. It's an adrenaline that you get from it, a feeling of a rush of success in yourself, because you are investing into yourself in some aspect. Now, if you take the time to be delicate and invest into yourself properly through it by educating yourself about how to go about certain aspects, like once you start a process, okay, then you may want to start tracking your weight. Maybe you want to start dieting. Maybe there's certain things you want to add to the element, to the depth of investing into yourself. Then you find yourself winning in different areas of your life, because then it becomes habitual and you start building on it. And I believe if you take the time to kind of reflect on your journey along the way, you'd recognize, like, again, as Jay put out, you find yourself to be the most successful when you are taking those steps. And life and stress doesn't seem as complicated once you simplify it to building your foundation, which in this case we're referring to the gym, because it's like a sanctity of allowing you to put things in perspective and to build on it, and to give yourself the motivation to pat yourself in the back to get you through the next day, because you just got through, you accomplished it. So as much physical as it is, it's more of the mental aspect as well, to motivate yourself to keep going. So I feel for me, that's a huge factor. That's my approach to it. And why I still hold on tight to it, because it is all in the mind, because you do have things and times that you go through ailments, you go through injuries, you go through life events that do prevent you from being able to hit it as you would like to every day. But if you've groomed your foundation to be strong and sturdy, your mind is where you need to be, then you're going to always be locked in.
Yeah.
And when you are able to get to that part of, to get back to building the fortress on your foundation, you're not missing a beat, because you've been doing the work here, your mind. So I would say to just kind of reflect on it. And again, if I can share any takeaway with it, just two sides of one coin: your passion on one side and the foundation that you're building on the other.
Hmm. I 100% agree. And I couldn't put it better myself. And I think a lot of the times, the word passion has a negative connotation to it. Some people say, don't follow your passion. Your passion doesn't equal profit. It doesn't, sometimes it doesn't bring you what you're looking for. But I think in life, if you go through not being passionate about what you do, you're merely existing. I don't feel as though you're truly living, because why wouldn't you be excited to live the life that you want to live? Why are you choosing to go the route of being unfulfilled rather than going the route of being happy, being excited? I look, waking up every morning and being able to say, God, I love this day. I can't wait to get it. And have that be genuine, not just something you're reading off of a notebook. Like it is so impactful on your soul, because it sets up your entire day, and you may not know it until you actually go through the day, when you started off right versus a day that you may not start off in the right foot. And you could see it happen throughout the day, right? Maybe if you have that mindset that everything's going to be great, whatever happens, I'm going to go through it, I'm going to have an answer for everything that happens. Look, I have the strength with me. I know it's going to be tough. I know I'm going to get through it, and I'm going to be better off at the end of the day. If you go in with that mentality every single day, everything else around you that is outside of your control will not affect you mentally. But if you go through those motions and you go through the day, say, oh man, I hate what I do. I hate my job. I hate being here. Everything, I mean, just the one thing will cripple you every single time. It could be the smallest thing. It could be somebody not sending you an email when they have to. You're going to break down in fury because they haven't done it. And then you reach out to them with a bad email. And then all of a sudden you found out, man, they had a loss in their family, or they got really sick. And then all of a sudden you're feeling bad about yourself because you let something get the best of you that was completely out of your control, rather than being able to be in control of your emotions, understanding that, look, everything happens. This is life. It's unpredictable. You roll with the punches, you get through it. It's the same way when it comes to exercising, right? If you're doing 4 sets of 10 of an exercise, you're on set 2, and that eighth or ninth repetition is getting difficult. You're like, no, 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 I'm going to get through it. I got 2 more sets of this. I can get it. Let's go. You can even get a spot next to you to help you. You know what a spot is at work? That's your boss. That's your support system. That's your mentor. Hey, Jay, you got this, man. Great. Hey, you can get through it. Great email. Just get another hour of this. Let's get this last one out. Let's get this last set out, right? It's the same thing. Let's knock this last set out in the gym. Jay, let's get this last document out. And I guarantee you, at the end of both of those things, once you're done with the gym, you get that last set, you feel fulfilled, you feel stronger. You're like, well, I can accomplish everything now. That's something I couldn't do before. And in fact, in the past, I would probably just leave it down. I would stop after 2 sets and say, look, I'm done. I'm not even going to lower the weight so I can get through the set. I'm just going to walk away. When instead I could have gotten a spotter to help me out to get through. It's the same thing with work, right? You can log off. Don't send that document. You wait till tomorrow to send it. But oh my God, there's about 50 emails to meet you in the morning at work. So now that document you're supposed to get out the last day is now at the bottom of your list because there's so many other fires you need to put out. You see what I'm saying? There's so many things that happen in life. Just do what you need to do at that time. That's the standard that you set for yourself. So you can never go below that standard. Never go below that standard. Make sure the standard is the standard. That's it. That's it. And it's the same way between the gym or in your work life, whether you work for yourself or you work for someone else. You create that standard for yourself. You set it for yourself. Never go below it. Never break it. So we'll see. I think, just to sum it all up, man, exercise as a way of life is the way to go. There's so many different similarities between a fitness session and what you do at work. There are times where you're not going to want to do the things that you need to do, but you do those things you need to do now so that later on in life, you can enjoy the luxuries that others can't, right?
Yeah.
When you're in the gym, you will enjoy 5-10 years from now, after grinding all those years, you'll enjoy the body of your dreams. You'll feel amazing. You'll feel the healthiest you've ever been. You'll have this aura about you because people look at you in a different light. They look at you in awe because they want to look like you. They want to accomplish the same body goals that you set for yourself and achieved. And it's the same thing when it comes to work. You will look back on what you did the first time you started, not even being able to send out an email correctly, to now running an entire department, right? It all takes time. It all takes steps. It all takes goal setting. It takes habit building, and then eventually becomes a lifestyle. It becomes so easy. You can do it with your eyes closed and your hands tied behind your back. So once again, we want to thank you for joining us on this episode 87 of the Achromous podcast, Exercise as a Way of Life. And of course, as we always do at the end of these episodes, Will C, we want to turn it over to our Achromous community. Right now, we just want to ask you this question, man. What is your favorite exercise? How can you find a similarity between that exercise and what you do at work? And whether you're an entrepreneur or you work for somebody else, let us know what that connection is and how you are able to combine both of those worlds into one, and be true to yourself, and to continue to be true to yourself. The best answer that we get from this question will be featured on the next episode of your Achromous podcast. And of course, because we don't want to leave you empty-handed, you will get 50% off of anything from achromousfitness.com. So that means that even if I know we were talking about exercise, that means you can take the gym with you anywhere you go. You can take the gym to work with you. You can take the gym to your daycare to drop your kids off. You can take your gym to Shoppers or Safeway when you're going to buy groceries. You take that mentality. You take that gym mentality with you every single place you go, because you are so damn worth it, because you understand what your purpose is, because you understand where you're going, you understand how to set goals and how to achieve them, and you understand that exercise is a way of life.
That's it right there. Two sides of one coin.
Mm-hmm.
Carry it with you. It's a mentality. Carry that with you. You can't go wrong.
100%. 100% Will C. And look, we want to thank you once again this Sunday for joining us on episode 87. If this is your first time here, welcome. We hope you enjoyed this episode. We hope that you were able to take these gems and, most importantly, use them in your life. Use them this week. Look, it's Sunday. You got all week. Put this gem into practice. It's so easy to do. Even if you don't do it Monday, do it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Do it one of these days before we meet again on this podcast. And we want to hear back from you. How did it go? How did that implementation go? How did that connection between work and the gym help you out in your life? That's what we want to do. We want to continue to build this community. We want to help you out because it helps us grow, and we all want to grow together. So again, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching this Achromous podcast. If this is your first time, if you have been here before, for 87 episodes straight, and you still do not know what we're about, I'm going to go easy on you again. I keep going easy on these people, Will C. I don't know why, but I think it's because we need to grow. We want to grow, and we want you to continue to join us. So I'm going to help you out a little bit. Achromous. You can find us anywhere you hear podcasts, whether that's Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. We are available on all of those platforms. If you are watching our beautiful smiling faces, that can only mean one thing. That means you're watching on YouTube. And here's what I want you to do now. If you did not do this at the beginning of this episode, if for some reason you decided to press play at the 26-minute mark of this episode for whatever reason, here's another chance for you to connect with us and continue to help us grow. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, guys. The next time you land on YouTube and you open up that app on your phone or on your computer, wherever you are, and you're scrolling down that feed, the very first episode that you're going to see is 87, episode 87 of the Achromous podcast. And most of all, ladies and gentlemen,
it's free to do so, guys.
Unbelievable.
We've said this 86 different occasions, and this is 87th time. We're going to let you know it is free to subscribe to our content. It's free. It doesn't cost you a thing for any of this. Turn on your notification bell as well. Matter of fact, I'm going to add one more thing, if you don't mind. Could you share it as well with someone that you want to benefit and to grow with you too? This is something that you can do free of charge, and you're making a difference in their life as much as we're helping with you.
100% Will C. Look, We want you guys to succeed. That is the bottom line of everything we do. We want to see you succeed. We want to see you grow, and we all want to grow together. So we want to thank you for joining the Achromous podcast. Enjoy your whole week. Enjoy your Sunday. Go Commanders. And until next Sunday, it's your boy J.H. Gibbons.
And then we'll see.
Peace.